Just kidding. All right. We know what we're doing. We're having fun. I'm getting everybody on here. Wednesday, Tequila Clubhouse. Some things are going to happen here this evening. All new views, all new. What's going on, everybody? Gonna have some fun this evening. Bring on a. There we go. We got all. Got beginning 3 here. Oh. Put you. Bryce play with these new toys.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out.
Do they vibrate?
No.
It works, man. It works.
It might help, like to help the liquid settle. You know what I'm saying? That's all. It might be like it's all kind of new technology out there. You never know what Mr. Hound has going on to help him taste things at the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All the y'all see that short little trend where they were using the little whisking wand to froth a shot. Yeah, no thank you. I found it interesting. I'm like, really all you're doing is cheating by like aerating it, which would change it a little bit, but
there we go.
You gotta mute it.
Yep.
Perfect.
Hear it. There we go.
Oh, what's going on? He said hey to somebody. I'm gonna say hey back, just in case it was to me. I'm not sure though. Hey,
see what I found locally here.
Oh, really? That's funny. They have those. Because Texas is one of their markets. Texas, I think Texas, Colorado, California, Arizona are the only ones that got them.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's one in Atlanta, Tennessee, and New Jersey.
In Jersey, in the dirty Jersey.
Yeah. The ladies got one each, and you guys got one each. So.
We did. It's coming. It will be open at some point. And I'm going to share it locally. I'm going to open mine and share it locally, man, so everybody get to taste it. You know what I mean? And
I mean, that was they did it. They did a good job. They did a good job with that, and it actually, in my business world, that was a nice contract. What they call O&D, Mr. No Mas. O&D is for the end of the year. That's what that stands for. October, November, December. So, in my business, in my contract business, that was the end of the year, and that was fun. So,
your business? What's your business?
Yeah.
On the other page. But anyways, like we leave the back door open, and we were talking about that earlier.
Only fans. Only tequila.
Yeah. Here we go. Only tequila fans.
So,
I could join that.
Yeah. See, we might not even need a matchmaker anymore. We're just gonna have only tequila fans.
Right.
That's the evolution right there.
That's how it works.
You get matched up by like your tasting profiles, or
That's it.
I see you like that Valley tequila, You know
what I'm saying? You just swipe on them. What? They like what? Swipe.
So I have a collection of Vigente. Like, Vigente, throw them all together. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Sam? He's down there in Guadalajara. Hey, they're hanging out. Probably down there on vacation, tasting some tequila. A little early to be in Mexico. Maybe like in a month.
Yeah, 45 days, something like that.
45. Ooh, 40. Man, I gotta keep doing my thing. 45 more days.
There you go.
Catch up to John. Try and get them arms.
Hey man, I don't know something about, bro. Yeah, I'm saying I don't know what y'all talking about over here. No, it's fun.
We gotta find the beach. It's over there.
That way. Wait.
That way. Oh wait.
I gotta lean in the camera to get it though.
Got it. Which way is the tequila farm? The tequila
distillery, brother.
So yeah, this let's see, this week Arizona. What happened? We had out here. We had the Arizona.
The echo.
The echo. Oh, way down here. Who's that? Who's being loud? Hold on. What the heck? Oh, There we go. Just move it out of the way. What? Can you hear an echo yet?
Oh,
Did you put it on mute? Did you put the? You gotta put it on mute. Because your screen is on. I think you invited yourself, right? Cocktail weekend was the same. They second that, Rudy. So somebody was doing what? Belly shots? What's that thing called?
What?
Belly. She was doing belly shots. That's what they said in the comments. You was doing belly shots.
Never heard of that.
What?
His belly or like dude, be like a 4-ounce shot, you know?
You're talking about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a 6-ouncer. Yeah. Better come ready.
Hey,
all right.
4 and 5 ounces right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, it went away. It's good now.
I just turned it off. I just used it to come over. But no, so the Arizona
Lint garnish. That's horrible. Lint.
So we
I guess we gotta get started, huh?
yeah. So John and I have been to Tales of the Cocktail down in New Orleans, which is wild, crazy, almost like I think it's 7, 8, 9 days almost.
Yeah, it's usually
So
I think like 6, 7 days.
yeah, it was like one weekend to the other, all the way through.
That's one in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did that one, had fun there, and then so Arizona Cocktail Week starts. Technically, they say it starts on Wednesday, ends on Monday night. And Monday night's the bartender last slingers, but each night there's an event, and they do kind of like not a pub crawl, I call it, but there's bar takeovers from different bartenders from other countries, and then there's also the brands. The brands will take over a bar and do a happy hour and give you all the free food and all the free alcohol for their drink. So yeah, lots of fun. No sleep, you know, team no sleep goes around. And, get home, go to sleep at 4 or 5 a.m. Get up the next day at 9 a.m. and do it all over. So yeah, so that was a fun thing, and Angels Envy. Nice meeting those people.
Oh, nice.
Some Lalo people were out there. Obviously, Mi Gente was out there. So yeah, some good brands. I saw some good brands. So got some good contacts in there. So we'll be having fun with some of that. I met H. Oh, H was really important because
you met H. Oh, hold on now.
I met. Yeah, no, that's different. That's the later hour show. That's a different show. Oh yeah, No Mas is reminding me there. I did get another bottle gifted to me. So remember in John and
you saw Chito on?
Yeah. So remember New Orleans? He gave me this one, right? Still sealed, still. So he gave me something else this year. He said it had to go bigger this year with the 1 liter.
Nice.
Oh dang. Yeah.
So I have margaritas here. Margaritas ready.
There you go.
So yeah, Chicharron. I got to hang out with Stilo. So Stilo used to be the Miami brand ambassador for Don Fulano, and now he's in New York with Milagro. So
okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He took
he took that spot up there.
He took many spots. Yeah.
So, but H. So H owns the number 2 tequila store or bar in San Francisco.
Oh. Cool.
And he has some more surprises for us, but we're gonna get him on the show.
Like retail?
Tommy's in San Francisco. Everybody talks about.
Yeah.
So him and Julio Bromero, they're real good friends. Been there for 20 years more. Well,
okay, yeah.
But they're good buddies. They're in different parts of the city, but they both have a lot of tequila, and so it was interesting meeting him. So we'll get him in from San Francisco. Actually, he lives in Montana now. So
San I've been up there. I didn't know this tequila existed. I did find some. I'm not gonna lie. I went to the store and found some. So,
Yeah.
but it was more of a Jim Beam kind of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the Jim Beam, Brown Foreman brands, were out there, and then I think it was Suntory, which would be El Tesoro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, beans
So,
and story.
yeah. So all those brands were out there. I didn't see, and I saw that local one. I took a picture of it. It was like an agave, a Montana agave distillate, or whatever. So that was kind of neat.
Wow.
Interesting, yeah.
But anyway,
So H lives in Montana with restaurants in San Francisco, so he'll be joining us when he gets to San Francisco.
I mean, but he got like endless selection. I guess he just fly it back.
Yeah. he's but he's got some cool stuff. We're talking about that. So,
Cool.
Speaking about meeting people at events, Mr. Matt, we're gonna get Matt on here tonight.
You gotta do the tip.
Look, he knows the routine, man. Somebody shows a bottle, somebody shows a tip. So yes, mine has been open because this is a great tequila. Yeah, Bryce was gonna have some. Well, Bryce has to have it for his notes, but we're gonna get Matt on here. He's our U.S. brand ambassador for Ensueño, and he's gonna tell us all about why this is so amazing. And it's once I tasted it, I've had some friends taste it. They were quite shocked and surprised and enjoyed it. Get Matt on here from Ensueño Tequila.
Yeah, I know only like a few people have tried it, but they were in Monterey, right?
Yeah, they were in.
Okay. Cool. Were they just? They have a booth there, or were they just present?
No, they had a booth there.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Booths with the big master distiller and the big blender behind them, and I was like, "What is this?"
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know photos you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, those big old giant. So we're trying to let's see where he's at. There he is.
And the cool thing is, I can't wait to ask these questions because they got some unique processes. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I was reading the label again and kind of got me excited before we.
So I know.
Oh yeah. When you get a bottle and you read the label.
Yeah.
And then the process, you know what I'm saying? And they put the info on there. You put the details of what they're doing. Give you a little summary. It's kind of exciting.
But it's also a little tease,
Mm-hmm.
Extra rare. We'll get into it.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, Bryce, you see what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah. I was looking last night. I was doing research. And I was like, okay, I got some questions.
What's up, fellas?
How are you doing?
Doing well.
Dude,
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man.
In
the land of dreams, right?
Yeah.
In the land of dreams.
Where are the sticks at? It looks like you about the video game right now. Like we need to be on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were doing. I got my controller here. I got the wrong clubhouse. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
I heard a couple of you already cracked the bottle. You got into it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I normally wait, but I was like so curious. I didn't want to be figuring it all out live, so I was like, I wanted to come a little more prepared.
Okay, y'all.
I love it.
To make me look bad, I waited. I ain't gonna lie to you. I waited.
Yeah.
I want you to see the reaction on my face as I sampled the tequila. No,
Matt. So I met Matt in Monterey. Matt saw the reaction on my face. And that, in fact, when I first tasted it, I had to stand like this. They wouldn't let me look. They're like, "Don't look at who made this. Don't look at who's behind the counter." So
that's great.
I tasted it without seeing any of the information at all, and was like, "Oh, this is good. We gotta sample more of this." So that's how I had in Monterey.
And then the crowd started forming. You guys started bringing people over, telling them they got to try this new tequila, and still spreading the good word. So I'm excited to be on the show with you guys tonight.
Yeah, we love.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on.
I got to tell you, this is my first Instagram live too, so I'm probably gonna mess it all up. I thought I was real savvy. I had the iPad here so I could kind of see, but I'm actually flying blind because I can't see you guys at all. But I can hear you, so that's good.
Oh, you can't see us?
because I flipped the camera around thinking that was the way to go, because it would be a little bit higher quality with the front camera.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Flip it around.
Flip it around. Go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead. Flip it around.
Oh no, we're in too deep because this is on a C stand. If you saw the setup, you kind of did when I first came on.
Yeah.
It was wild. I think my iPad's going to come back, but I can see the comments for some reason.
Oh, that's
Oh, cool.
So
Don't worry,
I'm
we'll
here,
do this
though.
again with you in the future, and then you can like actually see what's going on. So as we like make our faces and talk bad about, well, we talk good about it, but we make faces about it. You'll be able to see it next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sync it back up here to see. I'll be listening though.
You can
Did you guys already pour something, or should I pour a little Ensueño here too?
Oh yeah, you missed my facial expression. You missed it. That's why. See, that's why I didn't. See, you missed it. I did my first takes and everything.
You could probably put it on like your personal Instagram and watch the show, and then you can see it. It's going to be delayed a little bit, but you can watch it. So
it's cool. I'll be in the moment. This is the way it's supposed to be. Sensory experience. I'll.
Before we talk about it, you got to tell us the story.
So first off, how did y'all get together?
Yeah.
Start?
Yeah, 100%. So this has been like a journey, and all good things take time. We've learned a ton. I'm super, fortunate to be the first of what I assume, if this is successful, will be many brand ambassadors, not only in the U.S., but hopefully around the world as tequila becomes bigger and bigger. And, of course, shout out to all the great additive-free brands that are making tequila the right way. We're excited to be one of those. And, of course, to be able to work with what I consider legends and people that are the future, have a long, future in tequila ahead, like Sergio Cruz, Oscar Vasquez. Those are really special people to be able to work with. So being part of the development team, just to give you a little background of how this all came about, I have more of a marketing background, and that's kind of why I think I was tapped to be a part of this team to help on the U.S. side, just get the word out and spread the message about all the great stuff that's happening down in Mexico and in Los Altos. But, we were introduced actually to a couple of folks that were Partida guys before they sold, part of Partida Mexico. Shout out to JP and Vinny. You guys may know them. I know, Rudy, you met JP at the show.
Yeah.
So those were the first folks that I talked to, founding members of the team, and they linked up with Sergio and, kind of talked to him about the idea of doing something which is pretty unique. You guys probably talked about it. This is not made at 1414. And I love Viva Mexico. 1414 is amazing. But this is not made there.
Right.
So, they got Sergio on board, and then also, Oscar Vasquez, who worked at El Pandillo for a very long time. Amazing and talented guy. Also got him to come on board, and all kind of partner up with this new distillery. So it's a really unique blend of all the partners that are involved in founding this thing. And, I'm just super excited to be able to shine a light on all the great work they're doing down there, and definitely tell you guys a lot more of what went into this first production, and excited for people to try it soon. You guys are going to be spoiled, hopefully, to be the first to try it. First few bottles really in the US. It's not here at all yet. And we'll get into that story, and shout out to the CRT.
Yeah.
Shots.
Well,
Sorry.
We were talking about earlier, John, you noticed this. Talk about it again, John, what you're talking about, the label there on the back.
Oh, yeah. So the details in this label is crazy, but one of the coolest things that stuck out to me was the extra rare bourbon cask Blanco like kind of situation. So as we get through like going through this whole bottle and label situation, we definitely have to talk about the uniqueness. And again, you have two great minds making this product. So, okay, Rudy, we see you. We got he's playing with filters. We got two great master distillers or master distillers and chemists kind of working together. So it's going to be really cool to talk through the science of the process of making this and what they did. But anyway, one of the cool things you guys got to look forward to coming up is talking about this bourbon rested Blanco. If you didn't know. But yeah, so lead us in. Let's start with agave. Let's talk about the agave. Let's talk about the where'd you get it from? You know, the sugar level content. Let's get into that.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, I mentioned the partners on the distillery side. So everyone always asks, first question, right? What's the Nom? The Nom is 1580. So this is made out of Jesus Maria. Not a lot of things that particularly you may be familiar with from there, but there is a lot of history and a lot of reasoning into what went into why this was chosen as kind of like the partner distillery, and you know, becoming a house brand there. The family that owns it, shout out to Francisco and Senora Maria, goes back 5 generations. Some of the first to plant agave in the highlands, actually, and not in the valley, going back late 18th century. We're making what's probably closer to a mezcal than you know, in that style of production before tequila, but have been making, you know, tequila at this distillery for many decades now. But it's kind of, you know, having its resurgence and, you know, getting back, you know, to its heyday. And we saw it as a great opportunity when we, you know, Sergio and Oscar and everybody went over and visited this place. And the first time I went there, I was just like, wow, you could see the potential. Making the tequila the right way. You know, we talked about not only being additive free, but you mentioned the agave. And I think for the team, this was a wonderful opportunity to have a state grown agave, which is not all that common, you know, and who knows if we'll be able to do it forever. It's super unique that there's a lot of agave on this estate. You know, my hectare acre conversion is not very good, but I know there's a shit ton of land and I can see the agave as far as I can see. And it's beautiful, you know, so you can see it behind me, right? That's a picture taken there. We had some great content that I'm excited to share with everybody at Sunset. And that estate grown agave, of course, is fully mature, really high bricks content. And we want to cook it, you know, the traditional way. So, you know, it's being harvested, of course, by hand. The Himodores got a chance to see that. I know you guys are familiar with that work. It's no joke, you know. I think I did like 2 and I was ready for a nap. It's hard work, man. And it's so hot, you know, and just respect. Yeah, for sure. You know, you have so much respect for everyone that's involved in the process when you see it firsthand and when you get the chance to actually take part in it, even in a small way. And that was cool for us to see it. You know, I did everything from harvesting the agave to jumping in the oven and loading those piñas up. And I think I set an Apple Fitness watch that day, most calories burned. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, especially shaving the agaves, the pinas. It's a lot harder when you're not good at it, because I've noticed I'll sit there and, you know, take so many hacks at it to where a good humidor does it in, like, you know, half the strokes. Yeah. Just because
I kept missing. I think they told me, you know, yeah, you can do a different job because you're just butchering the agave, and we need to make a tequila out of this. Yeah,
you wasting product. Like, chill up. You wasting product right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So real quick, you mentioned a couple times the right way, and so as we dove into like the process and what you guys chose to do, what do you consider your brand consider the right way? Because it's going to be different from brand to brand, and you know, distiller and everyone who's a part of the process. So like, what do you guys consider as a team, as a company?
Yeah,
the right way?
For sure, and that's a great point too. And you know, I don't want to sound you know, too condescending to, you know, all the additive brands out there, you know, maybe somewhat, but I just think that there's so much that goes into making tequila, right? When you talk about how long just the agave, you know, minimum 5 years, and that's not talking the baby that was already planted there, and it was probably a year or two when it was you know, planted before that, and then, you know, you don't want to rush it with additives. I just never understood it. The more I got to know about tequila, to, you know, add these shortcuts. Same thing when we talk later about fermentation, when we talk about, you know, however you feel about the autoclave and some of these things, diffuser for sure. It's just, why? You know, you already waited 5 years, hopefully, unless you're harvesting premature. And again, using additives just do it the way that's going to make the best tequila. So that's for us the right way, is just coming up with what is going to be the best product possible.
Okay.
And paying homage to the tradition and heritage and everything that goes into that, I think, is also really important. But it's a balance, right? And Sergio and Oscar do a great job of also staying, in tune with what's possible, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So being progressive and being willing to take risk and try new things, but also not compromising on the things that are really important to quality.
Okay. And so if you had to boil it down to like 3 or 4 steps that make you guys, traditional or artisanal or whatever, what would those things be like? So we say agave is more than 5 years, right?
Yep.
Or so what's the next thing that makes it, the right way, like for you guys? Again, I'm just asking about your brand. You don't have to compare it to everybody else. Just like with your brand, what steps would you consider the right way for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Great question. And like you said, every brand is unique, and there's so many ways to make tequila and so many ways that you can differentiate in the marketplace.
Right.
For us, it's again, looking at that tradition and that culture, and, trying to come up with the best quality product. Starts, of course, like you said, with the agave. So it's really hard to make a great tequila, especially without using additives, if it doesn't start with really great agave, which you bring into play the soil, the terroir. We're really happy with the land that we have in Jesus Maria. It's in the highlands, really rich, that red clay soil, rich in nutrients. It gives high bricks and high sugar content, in those agaves, which is the base that you need to start. That's kind of step one for us. And then when you cook it, our method is low and slow. So we want to use the traditional stone ovens. They're quite small, and we'll run it in a couple batches if we need to. But we just feel like, I use this analogy a lot, you cook something in the microwave or you cook something real quick, it's not going to taste the same as when you slow roast something for 36 hours. You can compare it to food, right? Some of the best things you've had, they take time. And again, 5 years, right, for that agave. What do we care if it's going to take 2 or 3 more days to cook? What do we care if it's a little bit less efficient? For us, I think everyone involved, they're all passionate about tequila. It's not about just making money. It's about making a great tequila, something that everyone's proud of. Both Sergio and Oscar shared a lot with me about the importance of their name being attached to this. Their names carry weight, their signatures carry weight. And for them to be involved, there's not a certain amount of money that they could ever make that would, they would want to compromise, their names or their integrity. Right. It has to be something that they're proud of, especially at this point in their careers. Yeah. So that's kind of the first foundation when we get into the cooking process. But it carries on to the fermentation. And I love that you call it out on the bottle. We really want it to be transparent, right, about what's going on. That's the big thing I think you see right now with the CRT, with Tequila Matchmaker. The most that I hear from everybody is that they just want transparency, additives, no additives. I think it's a fair thing to ask for if you're a consumer. What's in my tequila? What's in my food? What's in anything? It seems like a legitimate thing to know. And so we want to just be really proactive with exactly how we make this, what's in it, all the stuff that we think consumers would be interested in, and putting that in short form on the back of the bottle.
Right. Because even outside the additive conversation, I just like the amount of information. So of course the additives is one thing, but y'all have got everything down here. And when I was reading it, I was surprised that it wasn't made at 1414, because it's such a similar process, at least with what's on the label. Yeah. You got Mozart method, roller mill, open air fermentation. I guess yeast blend, that would be different than 1414. Yeah, everything else, you've got stone brick ovens, twice distilled, copper stills. A lot of that is quintessential 1414 as well. And even that punch of agave is there. So I could definitely see that signature. And then where it takes a turn for me is, I think, definitely comes from the barrel resting, which I find very, very interesting. Just so people know that you can, age or rest a Blanco in barrels for, less than 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, less than 2 months. Yep.
Yeah, less than 2 months, and it's still categorically a Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
Was that always a plan kind of from the get-go, or when y'all were working out the profile, y'all thought it would be, a good addition later on?
There was a lot of trial and error, and that was, honestly, to be a part of that was quite fun. You get to go down and sample tequilas and see what the masters are up to. It's pretty cool. So there were a lot of different things that were in the works, that are in the works. I think part of the reason why we landed here, one is that it's pretty unique. As you guys know, there's not a lot of barrel rested Blancos out there.
Right.
It's not as common. Some folks just getting into tequila, right, might not know that you can age a Blanco. So sharing that information is definitely key, because it's not as common.
Right.
But once we found this, we had a pretty unique opportunity to get some rare barrels, extra rarer. So the reason that these would be considered rare, and this is not there's no sort of formal partnership with brands. We go through, a cooperage that has different barrels, have some great connections there, and we're able to get some really special stuff. So I'm not going to mention the brand, but you could probably guess some of these, that might be the culprit. It's an extra rare wheated bourbon barrel. It's used to hold really coveted and allocated wheated bourbons, and
Buffalo Trace Distillery, maybe.
Weller's a great bourbon. I enjoy it a lot, especially the 12 year.
I'm going through the weedy ones in my mind, so that's why I blurted that out.
Yeah.
Maybe blanks.
The Weller 12 year is especially delicious.
No, that's my favorite. That's what I'm saying. That's one of my favorite bourbons. Anyway, I was trying to figure out which weedy bourbon you talked about, but okay, keep going.
And yeah, so it has a really nice, impact, obviously, on the tequila and the final profile. But it was important, I think, for everyone to not have that overpower the Blanco,
Right.
Especially just from the consumer standpoint. We don't want to confuse what's already, maybe a bit confusing, that we're barrel resting. So if we came out with something that's, 6-7 weeks in the barrel, tastes like a reposado, we're calling it a Blanco, it's just kind of off to a difficult start to explain that. And I think also, in terms of what we're trying to do with this brand and this tequila, the whole intent was that we want folks like yourselves that are really kind of far along in their tequila journey to enjoy this, right? To feel like this is delicious, but it's complex. It has enough to keep you going back, and that you'd be perfectly satisfied drinking this. What we also want to do, though, is we want to appeal to the folks that are just getting into tequila, maybe coming over from whiskey. Maybe they were drinking Weller 12 and they heard, oh, there's some great tequilas. Typically they're going to gravitate towards some of the more aged expressions, whether it be Repo, Añejo, Extra Añejo. But we found that with the Blanco, you can kind of have a little bit of both when we have, 14 days it's spent in these rare casks. Okay. So you get all those, agave flavors that you're, custom with, that are customary. And then you also get a little bit of softness, right? A little bit of oak, a little bit of vanilla. It does some things on the finish where you kind of go through this progression of a Blanco with some reposado notes towards the end that I think is very welcoming to folks that are just getting into tequila as well.
Yeah, I think it comes through a little bit on the nose, as well. Not a lot on the color, like there's just a slight hue difference,
Either way, I love the finish, because the finish is something to be sought after, right? It's especially for a Blanco, it's very warm and long, right? And for Blancos, that's not always the case. Like a lot of times it'll be hot, but this has that nice warm finish that lingers for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And it's consistent, like with every sip, where like sometimes it builds up and then it gets really hot. this one's consistent from the beginning, the first sip to like where I'm at now, where it just lasts a few minutes and then it kind of bounces out.
And it's 42% ABV, so that helps just a little bit.
Yeah, that was another, kind of unique thing that we were looking at, and it wasn't like an arbitrary number, I think, that they just came up with, but it was a lot of, again, trial and error testing these things. I think there was always a sense that we're going to get more flavor, of course, with a higher degree, but finding that balance where it's going to be approachable to new palates, but also just really a nice burst of flavor. And it's funny, I think when you have this at 42%, there's a lot of tequilas that maybe aren't made the same way. You'll drink it at 40, or even in Mexico, as 38, 35, and this will drink smoother. And I hate the word smooth because it's so overused now, but this will drink, more elegantly, and you'll enjoy it a lot more than something that's even 35 or 38. I've drank this, of course, at every stage. I was drinking 70% heads, last week. And like, oh, this is, 70% alcohol. It was delicious.
So Matt, after you drank the 70%, 2 days after, when you woke up, how did you feel?
I needed to go to get some tacos.
We have some 70% in the house around hidden places. They're not, you got to acquire them a certain way, but we have some of those. And when you have those, what's funny about it, most people, some people are a little less experienced. You can't drink it first.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think, oh, I want to taste this really, great thing, and then you try to drink at 40% or even a 45, and no, it's not possible. It just ruins everything.
It tastes like water after. I had this after the 70, and I was like, oh, this is just, you could just be drinking it by the glass quite easily. And the altitude in Los Altos, this is made over 7,000 feet, the elevation. So you go to Denver or any city, you get like an extra drink or two in you from the elevation. Oftentimes I'll go up there, and it's a 2.5 hour drive from Guadalajara.
Yeah.
And I try not to drink coffee. I try not to really eat anything before, just to like not impact the palate when we go up for tastings. And so I'll get there. It's 10 a.m. and you're drinking 70% alcohol, and by noon you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah. We'll have to test out that theory, maybe.
We got to get you guys down to the distillery. We'd love to.
We got a full schedule. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll be there in April.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so along with the process, all right, we talked about, of course, your agaves, and we talked about you guys doing slow and low for the cooking of the agaves in the stone ovens. So when you guys get to distilling, right? Is it a full copper still? Is it copper still or still stainless steel with coils? Or, like, what does that look like? We just want to be a little nerdy real quick.
Yeah, no, for sure. And if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about the fermentation first.
Yes, sir.
And then we jump right into that.
You had
so
blend
I
on. Excuse me. You had the yeast blend, so I didn't know if that was like supposed to be secretive, so I didn't want to like dive into it because you didn't say the champagne or whatever it was. So I kind of left it alone.
I'll give you this, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it either, but I'll give you that it is champagne for one, and natural is the other. So we'll leave the third one to mystery. But there's 3 types.
Okay.
And it's definitely, you talked about a lot of the things from 1414. Sergio Cruz definitely has his fingerprints all over this, and all the things that he's learned in his career, and of course Oscar bringing things to the table too that he's learned. So they have a lot of those things, as well as some unique kind of things that they're doing differently. But there's definitely a lot of history there. And, same thing with the fermentation that we talked about with the cooking, slow, slow and low. Keep that. That's where the flavor, a lot of it comes from, is during the fermentation process. Of course, we got the Mozart going, and that's a tribute to Sergio's mentor, who, as far as I know, is the first to do that, Senor Solis, and taught Sergio that, and now it's becoming a little bit more common in some of the distilleries, especially that are made artisanally.
Yeah.
And it's a thing, you know, when I was seeing some videos and Sergio was showing me, you know, the vibration, you know, of the music and what that does to the yeast. You know, I'm bought in. You know, some people don't believe. I'm all in. I think it really does do something, and it's unique. And if nothing else, it's pretty nice when you get to the distillery and you're in this beautiful fields of agave and you hear the Mozart playing and you're drinking tequila. You know, life isn't so bad on those days.
I don't know if you've been reading the comments, but we've been talking about this whole music thing because it is a deal to us. So a lot of us are hip hop heads, and so we've talked to Sergio. I know when we were there the other year, we were like, "Hey, can you do some hip hop? Can we try something different?" Did you guys have any pushback and say, "Hey, bro, can you try like X, Y, and Z? Do we have to use Mozart?" We kind of play it out right now. He did his thing already. Can we get somebody new?
You know, it's funny. I think I went and switched the channel, and you know, there was like whatever station I could get there. I think it was like Bad Bunny or something was playing, and then you know, I got a bunch of looks, and it was quickly changed back to Mozart.
So you tried, okay? You tried.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the BPM. You got to match the BPM for the yeast, or maybe
That's
it's
funny.
just you know, we'll have to ask Sergio about that.
That's funny.
But
the first time,
so,
I was down there and I heard the music, I was like, there might be something to it. But this last time I was down at a distillery, you know, the yeast is a living organism, and this was a little trick that I found interesting is, so when the fermentation is going on in the tank, like it looks like it's essentially boiling, right? If you go up there and hit on the side, like all of that activity will actually come towards like where you're hitting. Like I found that was pretty interesting, you know. So it's like, yeah, it is picking up on its own environment. So it's gotta impart some change to it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a living thing, right? And it's pretty crazy, you know, the whole process and the transformation it goes through, and then to see the final product that we're drinking, right? I'm always amazed by it, you know, that how much work goes into it, and then just all the different steps of change, right, to get it to this final thing. So it's no wonder, you know, in some regard, not to justify the brands that use additives, but I get it. It's hard to make tequila, right? There's so much going on, and if you're looking for consistency and you're not in it just to make a great tequila, if your primary motive is just to make money, then yeah, that's probably the way you should go. But if you care more, there's more to it, right? Than just a paycheck, then I think it's a different story.
Ooh, is that a call out? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so it says natural open air fermentation. So is that stainless steel tanks?
Yeah, we got a question on that.
Yep.
Okay.
Stainless steel tanks, open air, and then you mentioned in terms of distillation, first one, Ordinario, that's going in stainless.
Okay.
Second one, full copper.
Okay.
Pot.
That's different.
Yeah, and so the reason for that, you know, as far as I know, you know, talking with Sergio and Oscar, is that you know, copper is great, right? Everyone loves copper for what it does during the distillation process, but the team believes that using stainless first and then using the copper allows us to achieve what we're looking for in terms of the, you know, the flavor in the distillation, but without importing too much of the copper, which can actually give a little bit more, you know, higher amounts of some of the stuff that you don't want in your tequila that you may have to filter out, staying within the levels that you want to be with all the things with the CRT. So it's just a little bit pure, and you know, you can accomplish it. Basically, our belief is with one round of distillation in the copper versus needing two. But there's nothing wrong with doing both. It's just kind of a personal preference of the team.
See, that's what I was saying. So there's one of the standards, right? There's one of your things that make you guys, I don't want to just say unique, but like, you know, what did we say earlier? The
traditional methods.
Yeah. Your traditional method, your methods of what makes you guys traditional in a sense, right? There's one of them that makes you unique in that category.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, you know, you don't have to be different in every way. You know, every brand is going to have their own formula that works for them. And there's nothing wrong with, you don't always have to reinvent the wheel, right? There's so much history and tradition here to pull from, and everything that Sergio and Oscar have learned from. But I think that the final stage where we're probably pushing the boundaries of what's possible the most is when it does come to the barrels. And I know that there's brands that, you know, don't really use the barrels, or that they, you know, kind of use barrels that have been used in tequila for many, many times. Personally, you know, I love many types of spirits. Tequila is my favorite, but I love whiskey. I love bourbon. I mean, there's not many spirits that I probably don't like, but vodka's a little you know, not at the top of the list in terms of uniqueness. But there's some great flavored vodkas that I've tried recently that are naturally flavored that were amazing. I had a saffron vodka the other day. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, people are pushing the envelope on. And, you know, when you have that flavor you get from all these different unique barrels, and you talk about finishing, you know, starting in one and then transferring it, finishing another, just using barrels that people haven't thought of, using barrels that are at a different stage of their life or held different things, different blends. There's a lot that you can do, and there's a lot that we're kind of playing around with. So there'll be some fun stuff in the future. This definitely, you know, I hope this will be the first of many great expressions to come from this brand.
Well, you didn't say that. It seems like you don't want to mention the name of the barrel, who it came from, which is cool. But let's talk about, was it washed? Was it what you guys do to the barrel prior to using it? Like, did you try to get out as much of the bourbon remnants as possible? Like, what did you guys do?
Yeah. So in this case, we wanted to see what happened without really doing much of anything. So these were freshly dumped, you know, as you guys are familiar with. Bourbon regulations, you know, they can only use the barrel once. Yeah, one time. So that's definitely to the tequila industry's benefit. You know, send all those barrels down to Mexico and we can use them for tequila. We wanted to see what the impact would be without doing anything. And, you know, every time it's different, right? And we're really leaning into that with the different lots and productions. This first time, you know, 14 days spent in those barrels, you know, you can see it picks up a little bit of the color, very minimal, but still from 14 days only, we were kind of surprised to see that it already was picking up some of the color. And of course you can taste and smell the flavor that it imparts. The next production, it might not be 14 days. You know, it might be 12 days. It might be 16 days. More than likely, if we want to, you know, go for the same kind of profile, it's going to actually require more days. You know, just each time you use it, it's going to have less and less of that bourbon character.
Oh, are you keeping the same barrel? Is that what you're saying?
So we're going to, the plan for at least this expression and the subsequent releases coming up will be to use the same, those same casks, you know, and, you know, each time will be a slightly different experience, but I think it'll taste familiar, you know, from the work of Sergio, from Oscar, and from, you know, just having this bottle and the next, they'll belong to the same family, even though they might be, you know, you might prefer the next one, you might prefer the one after that. They'll have differences in each lot that I think is actually something to lean into versus try to avoid with additives.
Yeah, it'll definitely have that same fingerprint, you know, but yeah, you might go a few days more to try and get it, you know, a little consistency. And then, so where are y'all going to release? Is y'all focusing on, you know, a few states, and kind of what's that price point?
Yeah, so it's exciting because, you know, like I said, you guys are the first to have these bottles. No one can get them yet. We're about to launch our pre-sale. So the launch is right around the corner. And, you know, I'll mention this again at the end, but anyone that's, you know, kind of liking what they hear and interested in checking this out, definitely go to our Instagram at Ensueño.tequila. And the link is in the bio there, where you can sign up with your email and you'll get an alert to gain entry to the pre-sale. So that's just around the corner in the next couple of weeks. You'll be able to get that bottle shipped to you, if you're part of the pre-sale, to about 40 to 42 states. We have almost national shipping lined up. But then we will have a sort of limited traditional brick and mortar presence in select states. So starting out, that'll be New York and New Jersey, as well as Florida and California. Definitely looking to expand it in the future, but because this is produced in such a way, the batches are small. You know, it's not going to be in every account overnight, you know, and we wouldn't be, even if, you know, everyone went crazy for this right away, we wouldn't be able to fulfill all that demand, which kind of makes it unique and special, right? You know, to get one of the first bottles when there's not a lot, something that we hope will be, you know, a collector's item and a brand that people want to start to add to their collections. It's cool to get the lot one.
Yeah, I agree. We got a comment here from Daniel that we're going to trade Florida for Texas.
Yeah, that was
so Florida's out.
Though.
We're replacing that with Texas. Yeah.
I love it. You know, Texas is probably a bigger market, right? So
it's
I'm not surprised. That's what I'm like.
It's California and then Texas and then Florida. Yeah.
But Matt, you're going to have it available in Mexico, right?
Yeah, so we actually have it available in Mexico before we had it here in the U.S. So it's very limited there as well, just because we're trying to like spread it around. But we have it in some select accounts, and it's going to start to be you know, more prominent down there. I was just there the other day and talking with them, so I think you'll see it on their shelves pretty soon. I would love to see it. I know Sergio has some great friends over at El Gallo Altanero. I would love to see it there. I was just there the other night. It's not there yet, but I know they do have. I know a bottle is there.
That's what's important.
That's what's important. And we were super excited and you know, lucky to have Soho House in Mexico City. Reach out. They heard what was going on, and we actually did kind of our soft launch for Mexico. And as far as I know, you know, Grover from Tequila Matchmaker, shout out to Grover and Scarlett. They told us that we were one of the first brands, or maybe the first of kind of new brands launching that was actually kind of going out in the Mexican market first before going to the U.S. So we did Mexico City. Same. Everything's the same. 42%. Yeah, we're not bringing it down.
Y'all paying taxes on that thing, boy.
Yeah, I don't think the team's making any money in Mexico, but it was important to everyone to be able to have it there and you know, to have it sold in those accounts, and for all the people that are involved that are down in Mexico to be able to go to their local spot and get it soon. So, but yeah, Sergio went to you know, Soho House in Mexico City, and we did a cool tasting and tequila class for a bunch of their members. Really great venue, and that was pretty cool. It was great to get Sergio. He doesn't love the city, but I got him over there.
We're gonna have to do a little class for us at his distillery. There you go. We'll let you taste all this, so you kind of know what comes in. Yeah, get that good natural flavor down there in Mexico and see how it is. So, so everybody who's thinking about buying the bottle, don't think about it. I mean, myself, Matt, how long have I been bugging you? Like, hey, where's the bottle? Where's it at? What do you mean? Because
you've been on top of it, you know, and that's why I'm here. You guys have been supporting it so much. You know, to be honest, I had folks on the team. They're like, hey, you know, we're supposed to be doing the launch on this date, and the soft launch is then, and then, you know, we're going to send out some kits on these days. And I was like, nope, we got to do it. I told these guys that we're going to do it. We're doing it today. I don't care if anyone else has the bottles yet. You guys have been supporting. You guys have been great supporters of the brand. So we wanted to do this, and we're super appreciative of you guys having us on.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, go on the Instagram. They have the link. You can put in your email on there for that pre-sale. So I mean, it's a solid sipper. Yeah, I'm a fan. Like I started nosing it. I was like, you get the agave like up front, but then like that barrel on the backside just kind of makes it like more dense and complex. Also,
Bryce, when you say agave though, that's cleared up for the people. Like, I'm getting like the sweet agave kind of flavor, not just like the vegetable agave. Because, you know, it can kind of vary. And I'm getting more of a sweeter side.
Yeah, so the cooked agave. So like after the oven's open, because typically like they'll wait 24 hours. You got the bees humming around. The agave that you would go in there and like pull part of the pink off and suck on. So that kind of caramelized cooked agave. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And then that just makes you just want to take a sip, and it's on from there. It's really good. Y'all did a great job.
We appreciate that.
Being
Glad
creative.
you guys liked it.
Yeah, I love the creativity, just the idea and the concept of the rare barrels that you won't tell us what it is.
Yeah.
45 days. 45 days. We'll find out in 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna like slide in, do a little mission, a little recon.
Go dig
But
around.
the fact that you created, one of the things I like about the bottle, if you guys can't see here, is that so all the information is like present, right? But if you look, it's really low key though. So it's not flashy. It doesn't like take over the whole bottle. So it's still kind of clean, but you can still see what you need to see. So I think that's kind of cool too on the design side. Again, putting information out there, but not like, overwhelming people with it and throwing it in the face and that kind of thing. I mean, not to say there's anything wrong with it, but I just think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, appreciate that. It was definitely, I think, hard on the design team to, try to include everything that we wanted to say, and then to cut it down and make it like net, so that like you said, you can read it, understand, and quickly, glean all that information without having it to be like super long form. But we will have a lot more information, pictures on the website. Of course, there's going to be a lot of social media content. It's kind of been all hush hush up until now, but this show, it's going to be starting to buzz. So we're excited to start sharing more with everybody.
What's your marketing specialty? Like, what do you do? Is it more like video? Do you do what kind of things do you do to make this gonna make the product stand out as you start to present it on social media?
I mean, we hope to kind of just be present, I think, in all areas of culture where there's cool stuff happening, whether it's something that's happening with a new restaurant that's opening, right? And how we can pair it with culinary, tequila, whether it's in cocktails or sipping, can pair so nicely with so many different types of foods. It might be, linking up with a music artist, or an aspiring fashion designer, anyone that's out there that's doing cool stuff. We want to empower them, support them. The whole concept behind Ensueño and to dream is we want to be lifting people up, cheering people on, helping people go chase after their dreams. This is a culmination of a lot of people's dreams that are part of the founding team. And, the more we can do to give back and help other people go chase theirs, that's kind of what the brand's all about.
That's dope. Hey, when I did that video, I said the land of dreams or dreamland, right? Is it to dream, or is it because you have terroir on there? So
Ensueño would be to dream, but no, you were spot on. Whether it's dreamland, land of dreams, a lot of us will refer to it just as Ensueño, but of course, the full brand name is Tierra de Ensueño. Okay. And because there's a lot of literal. I think when you talk about land of dreams, right? When you're sitting in the agave field and just looking around, seeing the mountainside, the hills, agave for as far as you can see. I mean, seeing what this becomes and turning into a tequila, it quite literally is a really powerful land of dreams, So that was also part of the inspiration, for the brand.
Okay, cool.
That experience is like nothing other. If you go to Mexico and you stand in the field and you start to think about, just look at the dirt first, right? You look at the dirt, you look at the minerals in it, you look at what color it is, you can smell everything around. And most people just kind of go there, take their picture, and like they're happy. I think when John and I first got down, started looking around an agave field. And the great thing about what we did was we didn't go to a specific distillery. We just found a field and got off the side of the road and started talking to the guy. And he came out and started telling us everything. These are this age. This is why, this is what we do. And he taught us so much I think we probably spent like a half an hour there. He kind of welcomed us, and then we got to look around. But I mean, we took a lot of our video and our pictures there, and you kind of learn something different because we're not pushing any bottles, any brand on you. Like, this is my agave. Look at this. And you kind of start understanding like, okay, this is where it starts. It starts right here with this land. It starts with this agave. And then when we went to the distilleries and we got to be able to see that, we had a different understanding right away. Like, okay, you start there, you get to here. And I always tell people is like, don't shoot tequila. And here's why. Because this man and his family have been on the field for 12 years working on just that part, right? Trying to get that agave to mature to the 5 years and move it over to a distillery, wherever it went, and become, somebody's tequila. So yes, all of the, everything matters when you're making a great tequila. And when I came up to you in Monterey, my buddy had me turn all around. He's like, don't look at it. Don't touch it. Don't get the bottle. Let me pour it. He poured it, and I had it, here's my glass, same glass that I'm drinking out of that night. So I had to make sure I had that same flavor and tasting it. And I was just like, yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy what, the smell, the taste. Went right back there and was like, yep, it's exactly why I used the hound method and said, all right, Matt, we got to get this on the show. We got to let people taste it. They have to enjoy it. The three of us don't get to end up in the same place. So, we'll do different events and be able to talk. So in April, the three of us will be together to drink something good. So Matt, if you're down there in April, come and hang out.
I would love to. I've been super fortunate to go down quite a bit. I probably went down, I don't know, several times last year. And, and that's the cool thing about this team is like me sharing the stories and doing the marketing and all that, I'm still part of the process of the development team. And, that's going to make my job so much easier to tell this story. You might have some, not even just tequila, but in general, I've seen brand ambassadors that they don't really study as much about how the product is made. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I want to really understand it and be immersed in it. And like you said, when you're there, you see every step of the process. I got to actually, for one of the times I was down there, I stayed through the entire production. We got to stay at the distillery and see, it was, and the whole thing from harvesting till, at least until it gets rested in the tank before it even enters the barrels. That's 2 weeks, and we were there just listening, absorbing as much as I can from Sergio, from Oscar, from, the other folks on the team and just learning, and when you taste the agave right out of the oven, when you smell the fermentation, when you smell and taste the ordinario, when you taste it, when it comes out, the heads and the hearts and the tails, you can recognize and detect that so much easier when you get to the final product. When I smell this, I'm taken back to that day when we opened the ovens and you first smell it. And like you said, all the bees are there. I can, visualize when we had the Mozart going on in the fermentation and the natural yeast, like you can detect at what part that flavor or aroma was imparted on the final product, which is really, really unique. And you can never, I'm trying to explain it, but unless you're there, it's just totally different.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll hopefully you can come down there and join us. But people keep asking, people are typing it in there. But so go to their Instagram, sign up, and get a pre-sale information so you can order
now.
Yeah,
you're gonna want to order more than one. Yeah,
it goes that fast. So
I saw a comment too. I know you guys probably got to wrap up, but I saw a question. My iPad decided to work about the different roles, right, of the collaboration of Sergio and Oscar. And so for that, it's pretty unique to have two masters working on this, and how the team came about. Sergio was on board first, and then Oscar, we were able to go and sign that great talent as well. And so Sergio had already kind of come a long way with the recipe and already done a lot of different productions and batches. But Oscar has so much great input too that he was really able to still get involved before we finished the production and really help with his knowledge of of course, water when it comes to dilution, when it comes to the blends, when it comes to the barrel, how long do we rest it in the tanks before and after it goes into the barrels, selecting which barrels, like it's crazy, you know, like I was shocked at how different one barrel and the next can be. All the different variables through the whole process. But when you look at the barrels and then you try to come up with a consistent blend or get the attributes that you're looking for, you know, Oscar has been masterful at that. So it's a really cool collaboration. Both make really amazing contributions and are, you know, again, in my mind, legends. And we're super excited to have them both, you know, doing their thing on this brand. And it's going to continue to evolve, you know, with them working together and making new stuff, you know, as we continue to move forward.
Dope.
So,
Dope.
Mr. Bryce, what do you think, man? You gonna buy a whole case while we're down there in Mexico?
yeah. Depending on price, I'm in. Yeah.
That was a question too. Someone asked that, and then I guess we got away from it. Could you state the range, so to speak, of the Blanco?
Yeah, of course. So on the site, the MSRP is $59.99.
There we go.
All day long.
Especially with them barrels that we don't know what it is.
Hey, for everybody watching, I wear a size 750 millimeter at $59.99.
You know, I was gonna say, when you talk about sizes, I do have a little Ensueño shirt here. I got to get you guys some shirts, so we'll definitely connect. But I would love to give you know, a shirt and a bottle to someone from your audience. So maybe we can do a post or something after this for, you know, anyone that wants to comment. Let them get a bottle before it's even available, and we'll take care of them.
All right,
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Let's do it, man. That's great. Thank you. That's an honor, bro. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for the opportunity. It's been fun hanging, and
yeah.
I definitely look forward to doing it in person. Hopefully down in Mexico, next month or April.
Bro, I don't know. You be drinking 70, bro. I don't know. We ain't really talking about that.
we get there. We just won't start.
Yeah. You know.
Hey. So hold on. Let me tell Mundo something. Mundo, because it's before 9 o'clock, you get this finger for that comment. I'm not drinking that stuff. You drink that stuff. See what he said?
Oh, I'll send you Ace and Broso.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, give that bottle to one of your female friends. I don't want that.
Ooh.
Matt, is that the shirt right there? Is it the shirt you're wearing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, so this is
nice.
one of them.
Uh-oh.
With the Ensueño shirt.
Hey, be careful. Rudy's trying to get you to strip because it's after dark time. You gotta be careful with this guy.
After 9 o'clock.
Rudy's done a couple shirt changes on video before.
Okay, let's
I
go.
have to do it live in Mexico.
That must have been the high proof Blanco night.
Yeah.
You don't need that. No, you don't even need high proof to do it. Nope. Don't blame it on high proof.
Hey, come on.
That was before he started drinking.
No, that was Cabal. That was with Dustin. But I did learn that I need a green screen, so we'll talk. That's awesome.
Little 70.
Oh yeah.
Little 70. Little tasty 70. So that's all.
You got a 70.
Yes.
I think I'm trying to think if I had. So I know we're finishing, but like you talked about bourbon. Sorry, I got to do it, guys. y'all know.
No, go for it.
Y'all know. I drink everything for the most part.
Yeah.
I like even the conversation about vodka. I think people disrespect sometimes other spirit categories without really understanding the true nature of it. Because, granted, I don't drink vodka like that, but depending on what vodka is distilled from, you can actually get hints of the flavor depending on how they distill it and what it's distilled from. And the essence of it is still there. But anyway, so bourbon, what is your, I want to say go-to, but what types of bourbon do you find interesting right now, brand-wise? Like, what do you like right now?
You know, it's interesting because I feel like it's got to a spot where, you know, the brands that everybody, you know, covets are so hard to get now and are allocated and they're so expensive. They're great, don't get me wrong, but I think for, you know, the average person going to the store, like, I don't want to spend $500 or $1,000 necessarily on a bottle. If, you know, and I just can't get that many of those bottles, even if it is worth it. But, you know, if it was marked up at like wholesale, you know, it's like they just don't make enough of it, or it's intentional. I'm not sure, but so I say that, you know, I love Weller, you know, Pappy's great, you know, all the allocated stuff, you know, pretty much everything from Buffalo Trace. I know they just came out with something new that's supposed to have, I think, traces of Pappy or something. It's like a blend called Traveler.
That's the old boys thing though. I didn't know that Pappy was in it. That's the country singer. What's his name?
Yeah,
Country
I forget
soul.
his name too, but yeah, country singer. It's
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, he owns Traveler. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll ask him. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be here in like a week. He's coming out for my birthday.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. He's gonna be in.
Saying though.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Tempe. So maybe I can. Hey, I got
So
some
you like
Ensueño.
Buffalo
Maybe
Trace?
Yeah, but even like the Weller Antique, the 107, like it is just solid. Like I'll take one of those every day.
I'm a 12 guy.
Yeah.
What I like Bardstown right now too. Bardstown to me, here's one thing I like about them is that they like doing unique blends. The collaboration barrel series, I think it's a phenomenal thing that they're doing because they're pushing the boundaries. I'm granted, yes, it's not like technically a bourbon, I know, but like just the fact that they're pushing the boundaries with these different expressions, I think it's kind of cool though. But that's we can get into the whole science and I mean, I don't know the rules about bourbon. Bourbon's actually really strict. Like y'all probably wish tequila was as strict as bourbon, but you know what I mean. But I like what they do.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, there's so many good brands. I feel like in the bourbon space, it reminds me, of the mezcal space. There's so many brands, and like a lot of times the ones that are, not as big, they don't have as big a marketing budgets, or they haven't gone viral and got allocated. They don't really get as much of a shine, But I'm discovering new mezcals every day, discovering new bourbons every day. If you, just are open to trying it and getting away from that. But of course, like if you want something that's, is going to just deliver, you can't go wrong with any of the usual suspects. The Weller Full Proof is great too. I was surprised. I was in LA the other day, and we got some great new accounts kind of already on board for Ensueño, so that was exciting. But being in the New York market, it's like bourbon is ridiculous. You can't get it anywhere.
Really?
And there you could actually get it. There was, I picked up a bottle of, ironically, a Weller single barrel, the Full Proof, a store barrel, like their Barrel Select. Yeah, and they had 3 cases there. I'd never seen that in my life in New York.
Well, there's a lot of up there. Arizona. If you guys ever come out, I can show you all the stores. Yeah. And it's probably because that's what I visit a lot of stores, but there's plenty of Weller in Arizona. If you guys
bourbon down here, you ain't gonna find Weller, none of that. But as soon as that drops, Eagle Rare, as soon as it drops in Georgia, it's gone.
The same thing with Austin. Right? And all the little hipsters and taters, like they out there just they'll grab it all up.
Throwing it up on the secondary market.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Oh yeah.
You already know. But there's a brand that they do source, but they're really good. They're up and coming. They just recently grown to the point where they bought another brand. That's how big they are in Atlanta, called Short Barrel. One of the cool expressions they have is the mezcal rested one. So they don't know all the details of the mezcal, so I'm trying to eventually, hopefully, infiltrate them and kind of help them out a little bit. But that mezcal one is really delicious, to be honest. It's really cool. So I had given a bottle to my buddies from Siempre. They were in town. I gave them a bottle just because they like bourbon as well. I'm like, yo, try this out, or whiskey, whatever. But anyway, so that brand you will have to try. We'll have to let you try some of that because it's awesome. It's crazy different. You don't see mezcal rested bourbons or whiskeys too often anyway.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, man. I really, really appreciate your time and all the information.
Likewise, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for having us on. And
yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a cheers. I know you can't see us right now because your camera is facing the other way for the high def. You want an HD, but we're doing a cheers.
We're doing a cheers right now. All right. There we
go. Salute, guys.
Salute, brother.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Thanks for coming on, man, and we really appreciate this. And we found our Blanco, probably one of the top of this 2024. So everybody, get on that Instagram, get on the website, sign up, get your early buy. And you heard Matt. We'll cut the video so we can replay it. We're gonna figure out a way. Matt's promising a bottle to go out to one of the viewers tonight. and we'll probably make him answer a question like, "Hey, what did he say at this point?" And if he answers it right,
Yeah. What bourbon did he rest it in? What bourbon barrel did he rest it in?
They're gonna have to go
I
all
love
the way
it.
back to figure that one. But hey, Matt, again, thank you, man. Thank you so much, and hopefully we get to see you soon. Thanks for coming on tonight with us. All right.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
Thank you.
Take care.
We'll see you, Matt. Woo. Ensueño.
Bro, this finish is crazy though, dog. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why Sergio and Oscar are on tonight is, well, one, we're going to see them soon. So that's one thing. Number two, there's only 4 spots here, and we got to have Matt on to be able to win, his part of it.
Tell Couple to call him. Stop playing. He can call him right now. Let him get acting like he needs it.
You got an issue, dude. Just call him. If you don't have the number, call me and I'll give you.
He got their number, bro. You know he got their number. Come on, man. You know who you're talking to.
But yeah, I this is one of those ones where it's the first taste. I was like, man, I got to get these guys on. I got to figure out how to get a bottle, whatever happens. So of course the original 3 had to come on. And I was like, hey guys, you want to do this show? And they're like, well, I might be busy. You're not busy.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, you're not busy. You got to taste it. So
show out.
Yeah, when you told me after Monterey about, hey, there's this project, and you told me who was involved, I'm like, oh, it stinks. Like that's gonna be good. And then last night I sent you a message. I was like, even when I was tasting it, I was like, dude, 1414's all over this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say pause. Like you taste Sergio.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
No, 14.
You know what I mean? You can taste it, but then it kind of gets a little different towards the end. The finish is not his normal finish. That's not his normal finish.
Right. But the fingerprint is there.
Yeah. The initial. I'm definitely getting his initial flavor profile, but then it just kind of does its own thing towards the end, and then that finish is, like I said, not typical.
Yeah, I would also say, just so you think this isn't just another 1414 product, it has that fingerprint, but it is very different. There's not another 1414 that I'd be like, hey, this is very similar to this, kind of like the Vivo or whatever. It's more a one-off special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Vivo's 47.5.
Yeah.
I got my Sienna reflection up there,
Yeah.
but it also, I think, from what John's saying, and the part that always sparks his interest is the barrel, and it's the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
The barrel definitely, it did affect us, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Some people, they'll put theirs in a barrel, and they'll just be like, I've had Blancos in a barrel, and I'm kind of like, pick a different barrel. But this one, like I said, from the moment when I tasted it, I was like, yeah, this is some kind of ancestral something from Sergio Cruz. And Lou, actually, Pyro Lou introduced me to the because he was there in Monterey too. And I said, and he looked at me and goes, how do you know it's from Sergio Cruz? I'm like, I can taste it. Turn around, and he's on this big ass horse.
Yeah.
I was like,
some
kind of ancestral way, which takes me back probably to the copper pot, right? The second distillation, the copper pot is it that flavor. But yeah, it was something we had to get. We had to get here on the.
Yeah, this is dope one to put on the show. This is dope.
Yeah, we got.
And I like that the spice hits early, and like John, like you were saying, it goes throughout. Like it's throughout the entire sip. Tequila's not meant to be smooth, but it's also not hot. It's just present. Like it's density.
I feel like you can say warm. You can say, I think hot is okay. I just don't like the word burn. So like once you cross into the burn category, then that's not what I like. If it's hot, that's okay, because that just means it's lingering and it's giving a great temp, right? Or it's giving a really warm temp. But burn is not what you want. You don't want the burn. You can take it hot.
Right. Burn's a defect in like the alcohol.
There we go.
So like when people like, let's just use your total wine, right? You're trying a tequila at the end of the aisle, and they're like, oh my God, this is smooth. Well, we all hate that term, but the reason we hate it is because it lacks information. What does it mean? I normally interpret that as like, hey, this didn't hurt. this didn't kill me. This was not a Jose Cuervo Gold, you know, and that's the burn. Like that's where the alcohol's hurting you, you know. Yeah. I'm fine with like a peppery finish, a warm finish, barrel spice, all that. Like tequila should have that, but it shouldn't have burn. Like you shouldn't cough. It shouldn't hurt your throat, but it should be present, noticeable. There should be a punch.
Like and then tequila, you won't get as much hot as you would in mezcal, right? And or like if you get like a nice, and again, this is switching over to whiskey because there's way more high proofs in whiskey than there are in tequilas, right? But like,
Stag Juniors at 60-something%. Yeah.
But when you get to those, like a lot of times, if I get something that's really hot, automatically I think it's a rye or it's a high rye type whiskey or bourbon because that usually comes in a lot hotter on that finish.
Yeah.
But I know we're getting into like taste and profile, like super again scientific kind of like right now, but that's just. You know, we're
hey, look,
we're not that shallow. Just so you know.
We have some, you know, I'll tell you, we have some, what do you call it? Not seniority. What's the proper word? We have some experience here drinking in so many different tequilas.
Spirits. Yeah,
different spirits.
I'm gonna flip my screen so they can see you. Hold on.
Yeah.
So that whole wall over there, I don't think I can zoom in, but that whole wall right there, all that on this side is that's all bourbon and whiskey, Scotch, bourbon, whiskey.
Well, I know you've been to Scotland. Did you go to Ireland as well?
Yeah. I go to Ireland. That's right.
Oh, you mainly go to Ireland. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
I got Irish whiskey too.
Yeah.
100%.
I like Irish whiskey more than Scotch.
Well, I think you would like. Do you drink Highland Scotch, or do you drink the Islay lower? Like, it's kind of like Altos versus Lowlands, right? Highlands,
right?
It's similar.
I don't
so if you get like Highland,
know enough about Scotch to tell you. My issue with Scotch is typically the ones I try are like they're too thin and they're not bold enough. But I was coming from bourbon at that time, and bourbon is just full of flavor. You know, like they're sweet, they're dense. You know, it's molasses, and then you go to Scotch, and a lot of them are like, I mean, they're nice, but they're like prettier and lighter and floral. So, yeah, I didn't give it enough time to learn about it. But with like the Irish whiskeys, it had a little more sweet, a little more density. So I kind of like those, more than
You'll
Scotch.
find that a lot of the Highland Scotches are single malts. Like, so what I learned is I gravitated towards single malts. Single malts is my jam. I don't like blended. Like, so blended, it gets into the thing that I don't like, or Islay, lower, or whatever.
Right.
That is not my thing. Highland
the single malt
to me
means one distillery. I know it's confusing, but it just means one distiller produced it. Correct?
No. It's the malted barley comes from like one. It's more about the malted barley.
Oh, just one grain.
Yeah, 1 grain.
Okay.
It's just So it's not a whole bunch of whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a blend or anything.
It's not a mash bill.
Yeah, exactly. And so to me, those are a lot closer to what you'll get from like Irish whiskey because it's very similar in the sense where it's high barley and that's pretty much most of what you get. So the taste is a little bit more sweeter. And of course, depending on how they make it and what they're resting in and all that. But like to me, single malt might be more your jam. So like once I got a hold of like single malts, I was like, oh, I like this because I was drinking blended and I've tried some of I call them like they taste like ash to me, but not like mezcal.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Yeah, like the peated ones, I'm not a fan of peated. But some people love peated though, bro. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't mind peated. I don't like the ones that taste like bread, like the shortbread or like the kind of you know what I'm talking about?
Like a yeasty taste? Like too much?
No, like I don't know if it's yeast or
I don't like peated.
It's too bready. Like I don't know.
You're saying you don't like the yeast taste. That's why.
Yeah, let's stay.
Of course, he doesn't like the yeast taste.
You haven't been enough strip clubs. That's what that tells me.
All right, good night.
Get some wings, and then you learn Pete.
But anywho,
hey, they don't call him Petey Pablo for nothing.
Hey, yeah. But I'm not a peated fan. I don't like peated. Peated to me is way different than mezcal. The first time I had one was like I was at a Marriott and the bartender was cool, so I was there all the time or whatever. So he was like, "Hey, like, you want to try this Johnny Walker Blue?" And this is when Johnny Walker Blue kind of just came out, right? I'm like, "Oh shit, all right, yeah," because I wouldn't buy that on my own. That's like a $50 shot. So he pours the Johnny Walker Blue and give me a little sample, a little taste. I'm like, man, this shit tastes like ash, bro. Like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. Like, so and that kind of threw me off. Before it was just blended
Yeah.
scotches, but when I tasted that,
Some get medicinal and like iron. Yeah, we got the Whiskey Tribe. They're like, you know who I'm talking about? The Whiskey Tribe.
Yeah,
Dude,
of course.
They're like 4 miles away.
Yep.
They're right down the street. And so I used to watch a lot of their stuff, and they'd be like, they're like, oh, I'm getting aromas of Band-Aids. I'm like, oh God, if I smell Band-Aid, I'm not drinking that. Like like, no, like a used Band-Aid or like a fresh Band-Aid, because like,
man, smells like fresh blood, huh?
Yeah, I don't want your
dirty
Band-Aid.
No way. That's
crazy.
Yeah,
Long story short, Ensueño is freaking good.
Yeah, back to that.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
get on the pre-sale list because it's legit, it's unique, and it's delicious. Yeah. Rudy, you know what you're gonna do to all your bottles, bro.
He was like,
hey, y'all just be running.
Yeah, I already wrote all my tasting notes. I just left a couple blanks because I didn't know, some information. But
it's bad Band-Aid. That's bad alcohol.
Yeah, I'll fill that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. Like, what I like about it is because we can come on and try all these different tequilas and be like, oh, it's good. But it's like, this one's good, but it's also different.
Yeah,
it's not hitting the same notes. There's a lot of tequilas that are all good, but all taste a little similar. This one is unique enough. It is good, but it's also unique, which means some people won't like it, but I do. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good, but it's different. And anytime something's different means someone's also not going to like it.
Hey,
there you go.
Popped on. Hey, you're welcome, Oscar. This is fucking amazing. That's how I'll describe it.
Yeah, bro.
Amazing. And hopefully we see you when we're in Mexico. Sit down and sip some with you.
Yeah.
I've already picked it as front runner for my number one Blanco of the year. We're gonna start picking because there's more on the team now, so we're gonna have everybody pick their Blanco, and we're gonna have them talk about the Blanco of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna start keeping a list.
Mm.
I mean, it's early
tequila
in the year, so I could easily say
Right. Yeah.
For right now, for sure.
Yeah.
But
is it going to be limited to like new releases for the year, or like what are we talking about?
We'll probably give them the end of 23 till like Christmas.
Or you do it by batch, like, you know what I'm saying? What if it's a already existing brand, but they got like a different batch? Like, was it like Grimace?
Yeah.
Like Latona? Well,
no. Agreements.
Yeah.
Agreements. You know how like they got different batches, yada yada, right? So it's not consistent.
Yeah, I'd say new batch. I mean, same thing with Ocho.
That's what Ocho, same thing, right? So it's going to be like based on that, or is it going to be based on like brand new year?
Oh, we could do both. We could do batch.
Do both.
You do
and new brand. Yeah.
Pick a batch and then pick
like a rookie of the year. That's what we need to do. Like a rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, Blanco. Rookie of the year, Repo.
A newcomer.
Yeah. We'll do it that way.
I'm still
Tequila Clubhouse Virgin. I don't know. We can work with it.
Oh, come on. That's always Bryce. Bryce wins that award every year.
Virgin? I can't be a virgin every year.
No, we'll, we said we have some new stuff for you guys this year, some things that we've been thinking about, and this is the fun stuff. I think we're going to have a lot of fun when we go to April, because we can actually all be together for a few days and do some fun stuff and talk. And there's a lot of ideas that are being tossed at us when going out there. I tried to not pack it, right? I was like, hey, we're gonna have a rest. We're gonna have a day where we just chill out. That's slowly.
I meant to ask you, can we do? I got something to do on the 3rd. That's the day we don't have anything, right?
Well, the third, I'm traveling back.
I think people are arriving on the 3rd.
We're arriving on the 3rd. So on the 3rd,
how do you get in?
I get in at noon.
Oh, you got time. So what I'm trying to do is Tequila's not that far. So Kyoto, she she has like her own tasting thing in her house. Her and her husband
Yeah.
do the same. You saw when I went there, over there. You seen some of her content. Like, so I was gonna see whoever's there that day. If we wanted to do something, see if we could do something at her crib that evening or something. Since we're not doing anything,
No,
do a little situation.
I think all those little things like that, like get people known about what's going on down there. Because I mean, the two spots for me, I've never been to El Pandio, and I love Ocho, so I got to go visit. You know, I got to go have a drink at Tomas Bar. But and then once we're done with Fourth of Fortaleza on the 4th, I figured it'd be like that night. Remember, John, trying to walk down the street. You know where that snake jumped out and bit me, and I fell down the stairs.
Bro, snake, raccoon, it was something. I'm over there, bitch.
Snake, big hose. I don't know. Mexican hoses look like big snakes. It was a snake to me. I was drunk.
Y'all are waking up pretty early on the 5th, though. Keep that in mind.
Hey, John knows. Team No Sleep. We got it.
Right. But so anyway, I'm thinking about like y'all cool. You cool with that? Diva told me I needed to say something. Ask you anyway. I forgot to ask. So I'm gonna reach out and then see if you know what I'm saying we could do a little something at her crib just to show some love to her and some support. But she does a great job. She has a ton of stuff. So she had like that Pandillo juice before it even came out. She had like a whole bottle of it, son. So like it was a super unique one. I don't think it's the one that he released. Well, whatever. Anyway, so she in there. So anyway, I think it'll be fun, and then it'll be a good experience. So I'll see if I can get that set up.
Those things are cool to me, to like be able to hit little spots in there that people don't really get to see. We can hang out and go support people like that, you know, because I love the Patengas. So you know, we're gonna go down to
we going there last. You can't go there and then go to her house.
Are they open?
Yeah.
What, the Patanga place?
Yeah,
they always open.
They had closed for a while.
Nah, they've been open since the last time I was there. They were open.
Yeah, they were there. They were when they all went to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was old footage or what, but when they went on the. Did you go, Bryce? When you were down there with?
No.
Well, when I went last, whenever it was last summer, I think I went last summer.
Yeah,
it was open last summer.
Now that I think about it, I think they were only closed after, I guess, Don Javier. I think after he died, I think they were closed for a little while. Like, they stayed open, but then they closed because I think there were some ownership things. So now that I think about it, they've probably been open for like a good year or so.
Yeah, that was a minute
right?
ago, because that was before. That was like before my last trip when he passed.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The son was in there pouring drinks, yo.
Hey, we have the best. Let's say this on camera right now. We have the best person setting up all the events and all our travel.
Yeah.
So when we're done with this trip and you see that new company pop up, we're all making videos about her.
There you go.
You know, our Diva's got everything planned. She's got all our bars lined up.
Tequila Diva Travel Company.
She knows
agency.
Land.
Agency. Yeah.
It sounds better.
Okay, they closed. Okay.
Oh, a nephew passed. Oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah,
I didn't know that though.
Yeah.
And Mundo, your lazy ass needs to get your ass down there and stop talking shit to the camera and typing it in. Just get your ass down there and
You say he wanted you on camera, bro. You say you're gonna bring him on. You can bring him on so I can jump off. I'm gonna say what's up to him and then I'm gonna jump.
Upside down. Oh god. that's a whole other market. Very friendly. Good back.
Yeah, we're gonna have
rubs. Really good back rubs.
We're gonna get some. We're gonna have. We're down there. I mean, I tried not to have like the, go, but it won't be. It'll be. We got some appointments. We got to be there when we're done, and then we roll out and we go walk down.
Oh, you say you never let him on.
Oh, I let him on. That's what we do. We made a late night show for you.
Yeah.
It's called Mundo Can Talk on late.
I mean, bro, we was talking about getting something else earlier in the comments. Killing the comments, bro.
Anyways, all right, guys.
All right.
We're almost at 2. All right, man. Next week, who do we got? We had a cancellation, so we switched it over, and we're gonna do. Is it next week? Let me make sure because we did a lot of switching around today.
Can't look at my schedule right now.
Yeah, next week, Kokoro. We're gonna have Howard do Kokoro.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, Howard, for jumping in real quick. His product actually is going to be available in Arizona. That's one of the.
Oh, nice.
So
It's good. Yeah. I was impressed.
I gotta try that. One day I'll try it. I haven't tried it
yet. You haven't tried any of them?
No. It's not in Georgia, bro.
Oh, do you have them? You don't have any, or I can send you samples, or I can bring you samples.
Yeah. Do that.
I have the Blanco and the Limitada.
Yeah, let me try the Hogan or the Blanco, whatever one.
Yeah.
I ain't picking.
Yeah, broke both of them. I don't have their whiskey, but
they got a whiskey.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Same name.
I don't know. Maybe I can't remember.
I thought it was something.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I remember when it came out. I just haven't tried it. It's not in my market. So.
Yeah, it's same group. I can't remember. It's the same name. Hey. Might not be the same name, but
let me tell you this: if you guys go anywhere in March and you miss any episode, you're gonna lose out. Let me tell you, March is first week of March. They've never been on camera. We got them in March, right? Right after that, we have Don Pilar with our girl Amy. She'll come on and do her first show. And after that, Bryce's homie down there in Austin, Eduardo. So we got Lalo.
Yep.
And then after that, we're going to have our good guy, Luis Torres, right before we all go to Mexico from Henidal to talk about what he's doing with the brand and how he moved to and announce it and talk about the high proof. That's
super exciting, yeah.
Yeah, March, nice. March is nice. So, and
March
then,
Madness. March Madness.
Yeah. And of course, next week we got Kokoro with Howard. So that's going to be.
No.
If you don't know what that is, it looks like a jug, and it's
moonshine.
white.
Looks like moonshine.
Moonshine.
Yeah.
Like, so,
yeah. They'll talk about it. It's a cool
with
jug.
X's on it to let you know you about to die because you living so good.
Yeah.
Because you living so good, you dying. That's all. It's not like
been warm. Yeah.
So, all right, fellas. We will see you later. See you next week. We've got some more great stuff lined up, and everybody prep. In 2 weeks, prep your livers because we got to do our thing. And everybody, it was Ensueño. Sign up on their Instagram page for the early release so you can get a bottle.
Yeah.
See, my dude in South Atlanta said the same thing. He's south Fulton or further, a little bit further, but he said it's not out here. I don't know what comp we're talking about. He talking about that cocoa. He's stupid.
Cocoa, that's different.
Kokoro. Yeah, I haven't seen him a lot in retail, but yeah.
No.
KO.
No, he's talking about that cocaine. That's what he's talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm in love with that girl. What up, Eddie? What's up, boy? You need to get your boy on. That's my guy from Sandio.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later on. We'll see you next week. We'll see you in the chats. All right.
Hey.
Salud.